Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to another episode of the Speak Sense podcast with me, Osama Musa and Muslim Amir. Today we have a very special guest, the one and only Mr. Ismael Mouhab, who is a marketing genius, a marketing guru who specializes on focusing and targeting the e-commerce business owners, and he helps them scale their businesses through digital advertising. And it's an absolute honor and a pleasure to have him on here with us today. So help me in giving him a warm round of applause. Woo! Ahlan wa sahlan. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, bro?
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. I'm doing good. Thank you for having me once again.
That's no problem. Obviously, we had the brother before, but we decided to re-record the podcast interview because we wanted to provide you guys with more value. So we decided now, alhamdulillah, to do this. In case you're wondering, why is there three of us? Today we're using one avenue, or one vehicle for the audio, one vehicle for the video, and obviously you have me using one vehicle for both. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So, Mr. Ismail, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, about your journey, please?
Hi, assalamu alaikum. Thank you for having me once again. Like I said, just a little bit about me. I'm a digital marketer. My expertise is in running ads when it comes to e-commerce businesses. I have been doing this since 2018, or before that, I believe it was 2018. I started when I used to be in university. In my classes, I would, at the back of the hall, I would run Facebook ads to get more sales for my Amazon products. So I would sell, what is it called? A birthday reveal product where, the gender reveal, whatever product. I forgot what is it called. I think gender reveal or baby shower, something like that. So, I was new into that market and I needed to get sales. I needed to jump higher. I didn't have reviews. So what I would do is I would create a Facebook page and an Instagram page, mainly Instagram. And I would target mothers and women over 25, 21. And I would get attention from that and direct them to my website. And that way, that's how I started, digital marketing. A couple of years later, this is what I do full time. And now I moved from, doing it myself as a digital marketer to actually having my own team and having a lot of ups and downs. Back when we spoke, I used to have a lot of clients and a huge team. Now I have a very small team and I'm back into that freelancer where I have like 3-5 clients, but in the same time, I have my agency closed. I'm not enrolling any more clients because I'm working on the systems. It's very difficult, to move from a media buyer, freelancer to an agency owner. It's a completely different brain, different structure, different view. Going from an employee to the CEO, to the founder, or, the operator. So, yeah, so at the moment, I just started my agency by December. I used to call myself as an agency, as a freelancer, just, to add more, a little bit, credibility. But yeah, so just started December last year. And, when we had our call, I had quite a few clients. Now I have much less than I had, and thousands and thousands of dollars lost. But that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to record it, to add a little bit of authenticity of not just, hey, this is we're winning all the time and this glamorous lifestyle of an entrepreneur or something. I want to share also a little bit of failures and how someone who is going to through this process, how they can avoid the huge mistakes that I made that costed me around 30 grand to 50 grand in recurring revenue that I lost in the couple previous months.
SubhanAllah, and we will get there, inshallah. As you said, that's quite a large sum of money that you're missing out on as a recurring revenue. For those that don't know what recurring revenue is where you have a certain amount of income that is consistently being paid to you for your services. So, for example, a subscription model where you pay £10 a month for Netflix. For Netflix, that's a recurring revenue stream because you're paying £10 a month for them every single month consistently. And we're going to dive all into the business, as you know. But first things first, obviously, just tell us a little bit about, what was it like growing up in the West? Obviously, I know a little bit about your story because we've obviously previously spoke about it. But for those that don't know, just tell us very quickly in a brief way of what was it like growing up in the West, and when did you actually move to the States, and just a little bit about that journey.
Yeah, so I don't want to give too much. I know it's a Muslim podcast, so I want to give that little bit of Muslim touch into it. But I wanted to give it as much as possible, make it sure that it's a business related. But as a Muslim, you also want to share your main goal in life, which is your religion. So I was born in Abu Dhabi. From an Algerian descent. Both my parents are Algerian, and one of them is, originally Algerian. One of them is originally Arab, like from the Middle East. But I was born in Abu Dhabi, lived over there till I was 18. Once I was 18, I applied into Malaysia and Germany. I got approved in Germany and I believe in 3 days. Was one of the fastest approval rates. Mainly because I did British curriculum. British curriculum is like approved everywhere. Really good. So I got approved immediately over there. Went there. I studied German, and my first year in German. When I went there, it was completely different than the lifestyle that I had. People over there are quite individualistic, like compared to our culture, especially Islamic culture. That was my first experience. The first thing I noticed when I moved into the West, I did miss out, back home, but I was brainwashed into this thought of like freedom and liberalism and whatever, having fun and whatever they label it as. I went there. I studied. After 1.5 years, I wanted to apply for my renewal visa. I finished my first year. Once you finish your first year, you're supposed to get 4 years. I had one of the highest grades in maths and physics. I passed all of my German history exams, my German language, whatever. I went to the immigration office. I ended up with a racist woman, and she gave me no visa, which basically means you're out of the country. You have few months to leave. Luckily, alhamdulillah, I had an opportunity to come to the United States, to study or work. But, from there, I changed from, going to school to, wanting to build my own business. And that's so far my experience in the West is basically completely different. Lifestyle over here is more individualistic, more materialistic, and less spiritual, less communities, and people are much nicer back home. That's that if I could sum it up in everything, there's so much differences, but the biggest difference that you notice is people are less friendly over here and less spiritual, completely dead spiritually.
And that obviously is something that us Muslims, we face this challenge, especially as young Muslims. I know obviously predominantly your youth years in terms of your like adolescent and teen years was in Abu Dhabi, but then when you're becoming a young man, a young adult, obviously you were raised in the West, you're raised in Germany and then the States, and this can be a very challenging period, especially because this is when a lot of things have either started to change in your body and your thinking, your life. You're going out to university, you're put in environments where things are more accessible. So it's obviously very challenging. So very quickly, obviously, you said that you were studying maths and physics. So obviously, you're a numbers guy. But when you were younger, what was it that you wanted to be when you were older? What was the thing you aspired to become?
It's gonna sound cliche, but it's a football player.
Nice.
It was the typical thing when as an Algerian.
What position do you play? You're a winger.
I play striker or defender. Both of them I enjoy playing.
Very good, very good. How good are you, mashallah?
Back in the days, I would say Messi, but nowadays, water boy. No, I just pass the water.
MashaAllah, very good. That's very good. Okay, bro. Jazakallah khair for sharing that experience growing up. Let's go back to business now. So obviously, like you said, the last time me and you spoke, obviously the guys don't know about this, but the last time we spoke, your business was at a really good place. You were really, getting loads of clients and mashallah. And now you're saying, obviously, since we spoke about 5 months ago, you had obviously a few learning experiences. So the first thing I want to discuss is, first of all, what's been your biggest achievement in business? And then we'll look at the other things, inshallah. So what was your biggest achievement in business, or what has been up to now, your biggest achievement in business?
Definitely, there's been so much learning curves that I had in the past few months, which I've been completely grateful for. Alhamdulillah, it's something that I never experienced in the past couple of years. I've been doing this since 2018, like I said. So in the past 3-4 years, I had more learning experience in the past couple of months than the whole 3-4 years. The biggest achievement I would say is learning how to actually achieve your goals. When I wanted to, make my agency big, get clients, I was a media buyer. It was tough, getting a lot of clients. You would get clients here and there. You would get a lot of case studies, but it would still be tough for you to get clients. It was, you have laziness on you stop being on this, you lose your discipline once you start achieving goals and whatsoever. So in the past, since December, when I put my mind and my heart into this, and I put my head down and started focusing, I completely shifted my way of thinking from going as a media buyer into this agency owner and the salesperson of the agency. So it was a completely different learning experience. So when I wanted to shift from a media buyer to an agency owner, I had a lot of people telling me how to do it, selling me their product or giving me advice in general. A lot of people gave their thought and their way of doing it, especially with law of attraction, manifestation, strategies, sales script, this and that. A lot of people gave a lot of, value. But, there was so much that was all completely noise, that I have one outreach strategy, one way of getting clients, and one way of thinking, one mindset, that actually took my business from 0 to 30 grand cash collected. But there's commission. I don't just charge for my service. I charge a base fee plus commission. Like if I'm gonna get you 7 figures with your business, my fee is gonna go based on how much I deliver to you. And people like that, business owners like that. They go like, okay, this guy is putting his, I still charge a very high fee comparing to people in my niche for the base fee, but I still also charge a fee percentage, like saying, hey, this guy, he wants to get paid only if he delivers results. So people like that. So I would say the biggest learning experience was, boiling down, removing all the noise and just having one outreach strategy and one mindset. That's it. And that took my business from like, couple of $1,000 in consistent $1,000 to a consistent 30 grand plus commission, which could have been either over 30 grand in addition if we were doing a really good job, or just an additional 10 grand, 20 grand. But if we did 7 figures, that's an additional 80 grand from just one client, which is insane.
That is amazing, mashallah. And those numbers are very, very good. And for anybody that's listening that is, sort of wanting to understand how these figures work, it's, as a digital marketer, first of all, you have a fee that is a retainer fee for the services that you provide. And then, as Brother Ismail was just saying, that he has a commission basis. So basically, let's say I'm able to generate £100,000 for your business in sales. I then want a 10% fee of that, because obviously it's through my marketing and advertising that we reach those sales figures. So then the person says yes. So then £100,000 in generated revenue will then give Ismail a £10,000 bonus fee, is basically what the brother was saying. So now we understand your biggest achievement is identifying one way of working, one system, shifting your mindset in one way of thinking, and that allowed you to achieve these amazing financial results. But now, as you said at the beginning of the call, and let's dive into it here now, what has been the biggest challenge for you? Because as we said, when me and you spoke earlier on in the year, your business was flying high, and alhamdulillah. I'm sure since then to now, you've had a few challenges that maybe become the most challenging thing that you've had to overcome. And like you said, one of the biggest lessons you've learned is probably within this last 3 to 4 or 5 month period in comparison to the last 4 or 5 years. So what's been the biggest challenge you've had to overcome, and what's the biggest lesson you've learned?
So the biggest challenge I have ever came that I, once I solved, everything started falling together, and the whole picture started forming up, was my mindset. The way how I viewed myself. I wouldn't say how I viewed myself. It's just, for lack of better words, I used that by mistake. Slipped. But I would say mindset. That was the biggest thing that once I solved it, everything started falling together, and the whole picture started becoming clearer. I got the whole view of it, and it was something that I was so delusional about. I had a few people tell me, "Oh, it's law of attraction. Oh, you have to do this." And at one point it was like, I believe it even took me out of Islam, because when you believe, it's like, I'm not sure if you don't know this, but law of attraction is basically believing like the universe, or like if you have like positive thinking, or if you envision like sit like this, close your eyes and dream about the goal, you'll achieve it. And to a certain point, you can say straight up, it takes you out of whatever religion you are. No matter what religion you are, it will take you out of it, because believing in like universe or whatever it is that will get you that results, that's something that is considered kufr. But regardless, also that didn't help. I would go to sleep and dream about my goals, and I would get no clients. No client will reach out to me. Nothing will happen. So I did a mindset training, and it was all about, hey, you need to start believing you could do it, imagining as if you already did it. Now you imagine you already did it. How would you have done it? And it just clicked to me. It's like, I've been lazy about it. I haven't been disciplined about putting in the work. Whenever I wake up, I would go like, okay, I'm too tired. I want to go back to sleep. I don't want to put the work in. And this way, literally, that ruined my business. The biggest thing when I changed my mindset, it was, okay, I can do it. If other people did it, I could do it. I didn't know anybody who did it, but I would tell myself that. And I'll come in the morning, I would go like, okay, I don't know what to do, but at least I will have an impression on my audience. So basically, just how I would market my client's product, I would market my own self. So I would have impression on myself. So I would stand in front of my audience until they choose me, right? And make sure they don't see my competitors. So I would put out a lot of value, a lot of content. Even though if I wouldn't get anything, I would go, sometimes I would put out content hours and hours spent, and I go like, what the hell did I do that for? What's the point of that? And I go like, you know what? I don't want to, bother. Let me just put it in the work and see, the feedback from it. What are people liking it? Are people not liking it? So I would put out content, and then I would have the dumbest comment, like just simple value comment, and that would get me, a client. And one comment got me $3,000 worth of client. Unfortunately, we didn't end up continuing with it because I didn't have systems, and that's the reason why I lost majority of my revenue, which I'll get into it later if you want me. But yeah, so like I wouldn't put in the work, and then I go like, okay, so I'm putting in the work. I know, okay, I see what's going on, what's getting me, reply back, and I would just focus on doing that. And also, I would say when I put out value, I would hesitate. Should I put it in? Should I not? Should I, like, people might call me scammer. People might call me like hate on it, because there's a lot of hate wherever you go in the West, to be honest. I would hesitate, but then I would tell myself, you know what, as an expert, you should not bother. Even if there is hate, you should not bother. You should just put a value, see the feedback. Are you getting clients? And there was one point which generated for me. There's one post that generated for me like 15 grand worth of clients. So that was a lot of money coming from it. And I could have not posted it because it was too flashy. And I was gonna go like, okay, I'm getting called out. I'm gonna get called out. And guess what? Nobody called me out. Even the people who called me out, like saying, hey, like scammer, although, like that, my sales coach was like, hey, just block them. They won't be able to comment on your post. Like, don't even bother replying to them. And I would leave the comment, the hate comment, but I'll block them so they wouldn't be able to say anything. Yeah. So that's one thing. And then, sales calls, I would go to the sales call and I'll go like, you know what, their numbers don't look great. I might not get them results. Let me not, get them, or they're not gonna say yes. So I switched that into, confidence. I'll go like, you know what, they want me to close them. They want me to, set it up. Then I'll go like, okay, so confidence and setting up an offer. So just like how I'm gonna sell my clients' products, I'm gonna sell my own product. So everything I would label it into an offer or package it. I would, instead of like charging like a high like amount, I'll charge like a small high amount and plus commission. I was like, okay, so your brain works differently. It starts acting creative when you don't put negativity and stress on it, because stress is the main thing that kills brain cells, and also it kills your testosterone, which kills your confidence. And like everyone else, business owners are like everyone else, they love confidence. So when they see you confident, they're coming to an expert. They're coming with like, hey, we're stuck. So when they see someone's confident, they would rather go with them over this person. So I had so many people telling me like, hey, we just came from this person. We came from that person. And some of those people have better structures than me because they've been running for way longer than me, but they still choose me because the way I set up the offer and whatsoever. So, it was, the biggest thing was like changing my mindset, going like, hey, like, how can I, achieve this, and, and seeing where I'm falling apart from. It wasn't like, like this new strategy or this new tactic or this, all those started falling apart when, I started acting confident and my brain started, the creative part of it started, functioning, because I didn't put stress on it. I didn't put, like negativity on, like, why did I do this? Why like self-hating myself, or I know it might sound a little bit like woo-woo, but if you see the industry, the amount of nonsense and these gurus of all this law of attraction, and you would see that this is normal. This is how humans were supposed to, like all the successful people. They had to work on themselves before they had to work on the strategies. So and the strategies, working on yourself is as mechanical as working on the strategy. It's not, nothing is spiritual, nothing is woo-woo, nothing is manifesting, all that nonsense. It was all about, as mechanical as possible, like from, removing the stress to adding, confidence, which boosts serotonin, which makes you focus, which removes the distraction. Like I was searching into ADHD, for example, like side tangent. I was searching for ADHD medicine, Adderall, and I was like, you know what? Like I want to take it so I can triple my focus, and instead of doing something in 8 hours, I can do it in 2 hours, which I don't recommend anybody because it has a lot of side effects where your body stops producing the happy hormone. So you don't want to take it, but I wanted to know, and then I found out why, how does it work. And it's basically meth, like drug, but what it does, it makes your brain, it makes your body produce serotonin, the happy hormone, straight to your brain. So you don't need to look for serotonin somewhere else. You're always happy while doing your work, so you focus more. So that's the basic gist of it. So I would go like, okay, so how, whenever I get distracted, I'll go like, oh, I'm just looking for serotonin. Let me just put in the work. So it's all mechanical, and I would say that was the biggest growth that I ever had in the past 4 years. And yeah, that's something that I would want to give everyone, because I have a friend who's Muslim and also believes in this universe and nonsense, and I would tell him, hey bro, just stop it. I was like don't even waste your time on it, if you want to succeed. And he jumps on this mastermind, he pays 30 grand for it. And the reason he joined this law of attraction course or whatever was because of the guy that he joined his mastermind from, joined it before him. So when he was doing like $0 to $5,000, and now he's doing $500,000 a month. So he joined it because of him. And then when he joined his mastermind, he told him, hey, what do you think about this guy? And he's like, I never watched any of his videos. It's all about putting in the work. It's all mechanical. Mindset is all mechanical, like just putting in the work, being there, being available. Like something I learned when I was 16, side tangent also. But I think it's very important for someone who wants to, improve on themselves, is when I was 16, I was like going to the gym a lot. So one thing I learned from my coach, who was like, if you show up, you're already succeeding. You don't need to put in, you don't need to lift in. If you come to the gym, you already showed up. You're not gonna go back once you come to the gym. It's a 30-minute drive. You're not gonna go back. You're gonna work out. And that's all he said. He said, whenever you feel lazy, just put in your clothes. And then if you put in the clothes, just leave the door. If you do leave the door, then go to the gym. If you leave the gym, you're never gonna go back. You're gonna work out and then you're gonna come back. So that's the thing. It's about just showing up, just as mechanical as possible. How can you improve yourself?
Yeah, I completely agree. You said so many points in that we're going to try and dissect, inshallah. But to summarize, obviously the first thing and the main thing that you spoke about there was the challenge of your mindset. And this is something that, we like to coach on at Muslim Amir, is having the right space of mind, the right state of mind, the right mindset is essentially whether you're going to succeed or not. And success is relative, it's subjective to what you seem and deem as successful. But your mindset is everything. And because the mindset, here's what's amazing about the mindset, is that you are what you tell yourself, basically. Right? So if I keep telling myself I'm unsuccessful, I'm a failure, I'm not good at closing, I'm not good at sales, I'm not good at this, I'm not good at that. Your mind, it just feeds on what you've told it, and all of a sudden that's going to portray whether you're having your sales calls or whether you're doing whatever you're doing. It's the same thing with you. The minute you were able to shift your mindset to actually first, like you just said, showing up every day, because that in itself is a challenge. Once you've showed up now, your views on how to do things change. So like you said with your sales calls, just having that confidence and showing them that you are the authority and having that power positioning enabled you to close more deals and be seen as the guy who can help the people overcome their pain, their problem, their challenge, which was obviously generating more money for their business. So that's the first thing that I like to dissect from that, is that mindset element. And the second thing from everything that you said is essentially from the challenges that you faced, it all came back down to you needing a coach of some sort or a mentor, right? Just somebody there to sort of guide you, right? Whether it was your sales coach, whether it was the gym personal trainer, whether it was whoever, there's always somebody there to sort of steer you or guide you into the right direction, or just allow you that, you know, somebody maybe to even just bounce ideas off, somebody to just spill what you're going through. And that can also obviously have a big impact. So I think those two things are amazing. Now, obviously, I know you're still a very young man, mashallah, but if you could call 20-year-old Ismail, what would you say to Ismail? 20-year-old Ismail, what would you say to him? What advice would you give him?
I would say just like you said, you know, having a mentor and having like knowing where you want to go. Just set up a goal. I think you know, I read this from this book, Psycho-Cybernetics. It's one of the few books that talks about, you know, achieving your goals without, you know, all that woo-woo nonsense. It talks about, you know, changing your mindset rather than changing your like being positive or being manifesting or none of that. So what he says is like humans are like a bicycle. If they don't have a destination, if they're still, they're gonna fall down. But if they have a destination and they're pedaling, they're moving, they're gonna stay up and they're gonna, you know, keep on moving. And also having a mentor definitely was really helpful. Reminded me of this post that I read a couple of years ago, probably when I was 20, to be honest. But what he says is, I think it's on the British pound or something like that. It's in Latin. It says like the success that we have is from standing on giants' shoulders, like just to see a little bit ahead. So it's not about, you know, it's not how much you see, it's about like not how much you see, it's about like, you know, standing on someone's shoulder and seeing a little bit ahead, them helping you to see a little bit ahead. You know, having a mentor is like standing on someone's shoulder and getting that extra view of seeing what's going ahead. So I think, yeah, definitely a mentor. To be honest, my sales coach mentor is 18 years old and I'm 22. He's 4 years younger than me, and he's really good. He can sell, mashallah, water to a fish. That's how good he is. So you can see how important it is for a mentor to have a mentor. You know, I had sales mentor. That's the only way I got clients. And I had a coaching, like a mindset mentor. And you can see how important it is. I didn't make up this stuff. If I did, it was going to take me forever. So they learned it from someone's mistakes, and that person, they learned it from another person's mistakes. So, you know, you're having hundreds of years of knowledge accumulated, you're taking it. So I would say, yeah, a mentor is a mentor. And what was it the second time I said? A mentor, I think my serotonin is low. I'm just kidding. A mentor, and like I said, you know, having a goal. Yeah, that was my second thing. Like knowing where you want to go, because if you don't know where you want to go, you're not gonna have the right mentor. Because if I didn't know where I was gonna go, I would have any random mentor. I would waste my money on courses, gurus, YouTube videos, all that nonsense. But I would get nowhere because I didn't know where I was gonna go.
Yeah, and one very quickly I was trying to point out, you just pointed out that your coach is 18. and he's younger than you, and yet you managed to learn from him. So any viewers that are watching this, don't let your age dictate anything, and don't let anybody else's age dictate anything, first and foremost. If they know how to get you out of the situation you're in and get you the results you seek, go for it. Second thing, maybe you should have hired me as your leadership coach for when you grew your agency, had your employees, and maybe that would help your situation, alhamdulillah. So the advice you gave is very good. Obviously, having a mindset coach and having a plan and a vision and a goal is very important. And I speak about this all the time as a leadership coach, a consultant that consults on businesses, and knowing your why is the most important thing. Knowing your why, because without your why, you're lost. Like you said, us humans, the bicycle example that you use is very good, because I always say when you get in your car and you need to get somewhere that you don't know how to get to, you put it in your sat nav, right? And it gives you a way to get there. It guides you. Your why is that guidance, because without a why, you don't really know where you're going. Without a why, you don't have a macro goal. You don't have a vision. You don't have anywhere that you're trying to reach. So how can you then plan around that and know what necessary steps to get there? For example, if you want to become, I don't know, like a chef, okay, for me to become a head chef, I need to work at certain establishments. And then before I work at certain establishments, I need to go to certain degree colleges and universities to get certain qualifications within, the hospitality sector. If you want to become a banker, you said you did maths and physics. So if you want to become a banker, okay, for me to become a banker, I need to go to this university. For me to go to this university, I need to do this. I need to take these courses at school, at college. If you want to become a lawyer, it's the same thing, right? You need to know how you're going to navigate to get there. So I think that is super important. Having a why, having a vision, having a plan, and seeking the right mentorship. And this all adds to that mindset, right? Because, mindset is one of the most relevant things in the era that we currently live in. A lot of people suffering from anxiety, depression, all of these things, right? And this all comes down to our minds. And the one thing that we need to focus on is help ourselves be more focused, be somebody who knows where they're going, be somebody who knows what they want. And the only way you can have that is through your why, through knowing your why. So I completely agree with you. So obviously, let's quickly just talk about some of the experiences that you've had now, going from an agent, somebody who was freelancing, to somebody who owned an agency, and I know you took on employees, to then somebody who ended up losing those, let's say, recurring revenues, those contracts that you had. What actually ended up happening? So what shifted you from there to there, and then back from there to there? Because obviously something happened within that enabled you to get there, and then something happened within that enabled you to, let's say, lose it or
Right. Yeah, I would say, like I said, what I shifted was as a freelancer, and had a friend. We work together, freelancers. We would, kill it for our clients. Great results, 7 figures, unheard of results. As freelancers, we would sleep, do the work, wake up, do the work, go out, have fun, whatever. We didn't have any structure, but we still got results. We still managed to, do insane numbers. But when I moved into an agency, I was a CEO. We're not having 2-3 clients. Now we're having 10 clients, 12 clients. That's a lot of workload. There's a lot of team people involved. It's not just me and you. It's going to be multiple people. There's a lot of communication. And I had 2 employees fight, really good employees. I had fight my friend, and another employee that I had. The other employee quit out of nowhere. I would wake up every day with those 2 waking up. I would wake up, and I'm in California, end of the world. So when I wake up, they already had their fight. They had their, and I wake up. It's a drama, whatever. I lose a little bit clients here and there. So when you move, you need to we used to, as freelancers, we used to do a lot of work, and we would get less work, or a lot of work, doesn't matter, and we would get the results, because there's not many clients. There's 2-3. Agency, a lot of team members, a lot of communications, a lot of people depend on you to get the direction, to get the approval. You need to be present over there. You need, the systems to be played. So what we needed to do is we needed to have a system where we could work less and generate more results. And that system was supposed to be done by me because I was the head of the media buying. I was the head of the marketing also, although I shifted my brain into, becoming the promoter of the business, becoming the face of the brand, and getting a lot of clients through that, closing calls. I would have only 2-3 calls a day, just because I needed to spend some time on the team, on the results, on the systems. Because if I had more than like 2-3 calls, I would have the whole day gone, and 3 hours of my day just for calls, and usually they would be full, which is unheard of in the agency space. Nobody would get that, but that's because I worked on my mindset. So I didn't have enough time also to do outreach, to put out value, which also would take another 3 hours, 6 days, 6 hours already gone, 3 hours from sales, 3 hours on, outreach. I need a little bit break. I come back, help the team, build the systems where we could, run the ads, here's what to do. This employee does that, the back and forward communication, making it smooth and whatsoever. That was not created and it wasn't ready because I never reached that point ever in my life where I had 10 clients paying me thousands and thousands of dollars, waiting for my results, in a way where they go, when you're a freelancer, they know that you work for them and maybe 2 more clients, they know that results are gone. But when you're a free agency, and especially in the way I set up myself, my identity for the people, my brand image is this expert, which I am. I don't know why I did quoting, but so they know that I have a lot of people. They want to be priority in my client list. So they message me 24/7, night, morning, evening, whatever. And they expect, okay, I don't see results. They think, okay, I'm another agency that does nothing. So there was lack of reporting back to the clients where we would do a lot of work, a lot of work. And they go like, hey, you guys are doing nothing, we're canceling. I'm like, what? Here's a lot of hours of research and market research and documents. And then they go like, I don't know if they don't want to embarrass themselves. They go like, okay, no, I made my decision. But, I'm once I build my system, I'll reach back to them and do my sales and get them back on. But, it was a lot of systems of delivering results. System delivery was not available at high level, which I never experienced. So I never knew what was going to come through. I thought it's going to be this fun where we wake up, sleep, our life around digital marketing, and we get results. But apparently, no, you need to work less and do more. And you need to have your own personal life or you get burnt out. So yeah, that's where I started losing a lot of clients. I kicked out a lot of team members. I hired a lot and I kicked out a lot. I lost a lot of clients, but that's not a problem. If I did it once, inshallah, I'll do it another time. I can do it the second time and third time. One thing I learned in mindset is, he said, people mistake coincidence as a mistake or rare occasion that never happens. What is just people don't understand the cause and effect. You put in the work, you get this. So people don't understand that if you put in the work, you get this effect. So they think, hey, I got this results. It was a coincidence. No, it wasn't. You did the work. You just didn't notice it. You just forget it because your memory goes down, but your effort goes up. So if you put something, the results of it is coming up, but your memory is down. So you completely forgot about it, but the results are up high. So there's nothing as coincidence. It's just cause and effect. And I did it once. I'm building my systems. I'm building my team. I'm re-improving my offer, to make sure that we get results completely from day one. And also I'm setting up contracts because, when you're dealing with, people are not nice, especially in the West. and also I would say in our culture, way worse when it comes to business and buying and selling. People are not that, we're not that good of people when it comes to that. So you want a set of contracts. I want a set of contracts where they cannot just go like, hey, I want to leave. No, there's systems. We promised you this, and you're not going to leave until we put in the work, because I put faith in you that you're going to stay. We'll get your results. I'll get paid. You get paid. If you leave, you got to pay the whole thing, and you can leave because you're messing up my business. So setting up a team and contracts, that was how I lost a lot of clients. But it's a learning experience, and I need to start focusing on, when I get there, what can I expect, so I can be a little bit more prepared for it.
And I just want to say, obviously, that systems are super important to any business, and there's a big difference for any person that's watching this, going from an individual business owner, working with a business partner, or even just having one or two people that work with you. There's a big difference going from that to having a team of employees. Because when you're in that freelance stage or that early stage, you have a lot of, let's say, responsibilities, where you can get involved in the sales calls, you get involved in the outreach, you get involved in the doing the actual groundwork with you, for example, doing the marketing and the advertising and the content creation and the market research. When you become somebody who has a team and you're an employer, your responsibilities shift. It becomes managing people, managing personalities, trying to get the best out of them, make them the most productive, increase their performance, improve results. So all of a sudden, you've gone from this person who's having fun doing sales and trying to make money and all of a sudden now you're having to manage this big team, and you can't do those things that you used to do. So that's the first thing that I would like to say, is that anybody watching this, if you're somebody who's looking to transition, remember, systems are super important. And systems are important because if you have systems in place when you're working on your own, when you come to hire people, when you train them on the systems that work for you and your company, first of all. Second of all, the system creates boundaries and it creates a way of work. And the third thing I would like to add here is, if you're going and you're transitioning, before you transition or do anything, have values, right? When I do my coaching and my mastermind, when we do our why, we have the mission, the vision, and the values. The values of the business are super important. They're integral to any business. And if you look at any business that has values, why do you have values? Because your values say who you are, right? So if you have certain values that you live by within your business, any employee that you bring on has to live within those values, because the values of the company, it's the value of you as a CEO, and it allows you to progress forward and move forward with your company the way you like. So, mashallah, you've obviously had this mad journey, and it's amazing to see, because from the last time I spoke to you, now I could see the growth, and mashallah, in the way that you speak. So that's very nice. What is one business tip you would like to give our audience today?
Yeah, definitely. Besides that, before I get into that, there's a really good book for anyone who wants to build like systems and business culture. It's by Patty McCord. It's called Powerful. It's an amazing book. She was the chief talent officer at Netflix. So, it's not any person who's writing this book. It's called Powerful. A really, really great book. She talks about how she built, culture and hiring systems in Netflix. And Netflix is not any company. It's ruined, or it's like Uber for taxis. It ruined Blockbusters, where you can buy the CDs or whatever, you just from home. So, taking business like that is not by luck. So, it's a good book. Anything that I want to give value, it would be definitely work on yourself before you work on strategies. Because one thing I learned from this, mindset course is, it's something that it's very important. It's like he says, most people don't have business problems; they have personal problems that are reflecting on their business. So there's so many people who said about it's very true. As soon as I worked my business, I started seeing money coming into my pockets, and I'm like, okay. So all I had to do was work on myself and just do one strategy. And if it didn't work, just change it. If it didn't work, just change it until it works. Yeah, work on yourself before we work on a strategy.
Amazing. And that's very nice. Very nice to hear. So, and I completely agree with that. Very quickly, do you have any routine? So do you have like a morning routine or an evening routine? Do you have anything like that? Or do you sort of just live every day as it comes?
So I have a coaching call. I have a student, but I just told them I'll be late like 10 minutes. I would say I do have a routine, but it's not as like you see on YouTube, my multimillionaire routine or day in the life of a multimillionaire or none of that. It's a little bit simple. It's not as bad as what's his name? Elon Musk, because Elon Musk routine is horrible. The guy is like, as soon as he wakes up on his phone, whatever. For me, I wake up early morning for Fajr. And once I wake up for Fajr, I pray and I get to my place. I relax a little bit, relax my mind. Something that I have been doing, which is very, very bad, was like consuming a lot, YouTube, TikTok, information, podcast, whatever it is. I consume a lot, so I block, my mind cannot handle too much. And when I sleep, I don't sleep bad because your subconscious is, saving that whatever you learned into your brain. So you don't even sleep that well when you learn too much and you clog your brain. So I started, reducing how much I learn and reducing like just choosing exactly where I want to go, exactly what's one thing that's going to move me forward. And that's one thing that I've been trying to do. So in the morning, I try to completely not see anything, not do anything, no reply to messages. And just read my goal, which is let's say 10 clients with my agency and 10 clients with my agency, and then having like that's my confidence in check, because of 4 years of like doing agency, all that negativity, it's a habit, it's a pattern in your brain. When you learn something, your brain creates patterns. So it takes time to break those patterns. A lot of people put a lot of more stress on themselves when they don't break that bad habit, the pattern in the first day or first week. It took you 4 years to build a negative habit. It's going to take you much more to build a positive habit because they're much harder. So that's something that I try to learn, coming in, like, okay, I'm an expert. I don't have to worry, just like relaxing myself because, there's all that years of just like Pavlov experiment when he put like steak and an alarm to dogs. Whenever they hear the alarm, they start hearing the alarm, they start salivating because they think there's a stake. So whenever I look at my laptop, my brain starts putting stress and worry. So it's something that I started training myself. And then putting in the work, trying to get work done by 3 p.m. Something bad I used to do is I would work the whole day. It got me to 30, 40, 50 grand with my business, but it's something that I wasn't able to relax at the end of the day, where I would be able to identify what I need to work on. I didn't need more clients once I reached 12 clients. I'm making a lot of money, more than my dad made in a year. I would make it in a month. I need to focus on making sure that I keep those clients. So I couldn't see that because I was clogged with information, putting a lot of work and this and that. So I'm working on myself into putting less work to get more work done. That's my routine. And also, praying on time, and like reading Afkar. That's something that really helped me into building habits, because Afkar is something that I never did since I was a kid. My family always told me, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. And I would neglect them because, hey, it's a positive habit and it's always tough to build it. So
Yeah, I completely agree. أذكار الصباح وأذكار المساء, the evening and morning supplications are very, very powerful, very important. And you know, I can vouch for that. When I was doing them, my days are always better, and the days that I don't do them, I feel something missing. So, barakallahu feek for that reminder. As I know that you've got a question for, move on very quickly. Then,
I got like 10-20 minutes, so we can go through Q&As. It's all good.
Okay, cool. So, what's one final piece of advice? Well, not advice, sorry. What's one final piece of value? Just one final piece of value you would like to leave our audience with, and then after this, we'll do the quick fire round questions. So,
okay, sure. Yes, I would say I would circle back to work on yourself. If I didn't work on myself, I worked on strategies. I would have been going like, okay, I need this strategy. Oh, I lost all my clients. I need this strategy. I need this course. I need to spend more money on this. I need to spend more money on that. Now I work on myself. I see my faults. I see who's always the main reason for work is something I learned is redefining the meaning of responsibility. Responsibility is not something that you have to do as like your responsibilities, but it's the way you are responding to what's going on in your life. So someone said, okay, a tree is falling beside you. Are you responsible? And I was like, no. And he's like, okay. And he says, an old lady is crossing the road. Are you responsible? I'm like to help her, but she's responsible like to go wherever she wants. Like I'm not responsible for her leaving her house. So I'm like, I'm not sure what you mean. So he's like, okay, so responsible is what you mean is how you respond to things. So, being working on yourself, knowing how to respond to yourself, or whatever outside, things outside yourself. So, working on yourself, knowing how to respond, knowing what to do next is always the best thing. Never know what's your what, like you said, why, what's your what, your why, and then focus on the how, on how you want to get there. Take the first step, always focus on the next step, which always is clear. You always can see the first step. You can't see the whole path, but you always can see the first step. Once you see the first step, you can see the second step, or you always see the next step, but you never see the whole journey. So work on yourself and know what you need to do. I don't know if a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, or when I was 20, I would, my solution, get another sales coach, get another mindset course, spend more on this, do that, rather than, okay, I need to start unclogging my brain. I need to start focusing. And you need to start building systems that the less I work, the more impact it has on my clients, on the results they get. So now instead of, hiring this and that person for Facebook ads, what I started doing is email and Google, which are not impacted by iOS. And I'm now going to TikTok because that's a lot of work on creatives, and none of us do creatives, and they cost a lot. So if I do Facebook ads, Google ads, email, and charge a little bit more higher, my clients would be more than happy. They're gonna go like, okay, this guy's taking control of everything, and all the thing that I need to pay is for creatives, the images and the videos. So this way, like I only knew that, I only was able to see that once I worked on myself, and rather than looking for strategies.
Amazing. So guys, the piece of value today is work on ourselves. I couldn't agree more, and there's something that you said that is super important, which is our business is a reflection of us. So whatever you're going through, your business will just reflect that from you. And something that you said right now, which is very important, there are things that you can control, there are things that you can't control. Stop focusing on the things that you can't control and focus on the things that you can control, because focusing on the things that you can't control will just lead you down a road that you don't want to go, because you can't control those things. You can't change what's happening in those things because you don't have control over them. Okay, very quickly, quick fire round. Are you burger or pizza?
I'm a burger person, but lately I've been, with the inflation and prices going up, I cannot spend $17 on 2 burgers and fries. I'm gonna go with a pizza, $8, large pizza is gonna fill my tummy. It's gonna give me the chicken, the carbs, whatever. Will go with pizza.
Okay. Do you put your socks on before or after your trousers?
After I wear my trousers.
Okay. Do you brush your teeth before or after breakfast?
I like to do it before, but I get too lazy.
Okay.
So I end up doing it after.
Okay. Do you prefer movies or series?
Movie. I get bored too quickly when it comes to non-fictional stuff and
Okay, that's good. Movies. Do you prefer personal development books or novels?
Personal development. I never read a novel and I will never read one.
You should try read one. They're very good. I'm for personal development books as well, but novels are good. When you get a good novel, it's very nice. You get attached to the story. It's really good. Do you prefer ketchup or mayo? Or do you have another
ketchup?
Like, do you know what? There's
Chick-fil-A sauce.
Chick-fil-A sauce is nice, and there's a sauce. I don't know if obviously you're Algerian, but we call it an Algerian sauce. We have it in the UK. It's called Algerian sauce. It's so good.
What is it?
It's
how would you describe it?
It's very close to like burger sauce, but nicer. Very.
Okay, I wouldn't know, to be honest.
Yeah, it's like a chili burger sauce. It's very nice. Very good. Try that out. And obviously, the final question we all would know the answer to because of what you've been saying all day. But do you prefer being a business owner or an employee?
I answered that question last time and you got surprised, and I think I'll surprise you again. But I prefer being employee, but due to my circumstance, I'm a business owner. As an explanation, which you told me last time, is I prefer coming to the office, doing my job, and relaxing, going back home, not having to worry about the business. But after I got kicked out of Germany for being Arab, I seen my situation. I cannot. These people, they don't care about their karama or anything. They care only about their money. So if I have money, that I feel like that won't happen to me again. Maybe not. But so that's where, due to my circumstances, I'm a business owner, and alhamdulillah, regardless.
Alhamdulillah. So just to wrap that up, obviously, if you could, you'd prefer to be an employee, but because of the circumstances, you are now a business owner. Barakallah feek, you're a successful business owner. Keep doing what you're doing, Akhi. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on, absolute privilege to have you here today. If you want to just quickly give a shout out to yourself where people can find you, socials, LinkedIn, Instagram, anything like that, do it now.
Yeah. So thank you for that opportunity. I didn't know that Muslims do a lot of e-commerce, and the ones that I did have with them was a bad experience, to be honest. They expect you to lower your prices and this and that. But look, there's a lot of people that do actually know how to run a business, and they are good at it. So if you want to, have an e-commerce business and you need help with that, I am working with wehalal.com, a Muslim brand that sells, halal stuff and halal candy. So, at the end of the day, if you have an e-commerce business, I am a little bit expensive. It is what it is. But we are guaranteeing results, and we have a wait list at the moment till I build my systems completely where I can take more clients. But I do have a wait list which you can join. You can look up my name on Facebook and you can find me.
Inshallah, I'll be attaching all the links below the video. Jazakallah khair for tuning in. And guys, I'll see you on the next episode on the Speak Sense podcast. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed it and found value in this one. جزاكم الله خير. سبحانك يا رب وبحمدك استغفرك واتوب اليك. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.